Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a lovely week so far and that you also had a really fantastic weekend. This morning's assembly is all about potential, and I thought we could talk about what the word potential means, and then maybe you could identify some areas where you have potential which you might want to develop into the next year, the next academic year here at school. So to start off, I thought we could have a think about what the word potential means. I'm going to share my screen, so whilst I'm getting that ready, have a little think in your own head. What does that word potential mean? I'm sure you've thought about something by now, but in case you haven't, potential means, the word potential in the dictionary means something that is not yet developed, but it is able to come into existence. So it's something that is not happening right now, but it may, with a bit of hard work or a bit of practice or with a bit of time, it may actually happen. It may come into existence. Now I'm going to show you some items on the screen. So you should be able to see in front of you at the moment a picture of some seeds. And when we look at these images, as we go through them, I'd like you to decide, using the definition that we've just discussed, what potential each thing in the picture has. So let's think about this first picture. What potential do seeds have? You may have had some ideas pop into your head, I'm sure you did. Some types of seeds, like these, have the potential to become flowers. What do you think would happen to a seed if it was never planted or watered? Seeds can only fulfill their potential to become a flower if they are planted in the correct place with the right conditions. So it would be no good to plant them in a cold, damp place if they didn't enjoy those particular conditions. If we didn't look after the seed and water it and feed it and nurture it and trim it back over time, then it would also not grow into its potential, the beautiful flower that it could possibly become. So there we have a beautiful sea of wildflowers, all different colors, shapes and sizes. Those seeds have grown and developed. They've achieved their potential of becoming a wildflower because they had the right conditions. And this can happen for us too, as humans. Let's have a look at the next picture. Here we have some candles. What potential do candles have? Now, candles have the potential to give out light or even small amounts of heat, but they can't do this unless they are provided with a flame. So unless we light them, unless we take a match to them and set them alight, they cannot achieve their potential of giving off light and heat unless they've been lit. This is another image of candles. However, I'd like us to focus on the flame only, the burning lit part of the wick at the top of the candle. I'd like you to think about now what potential a flame has. Flames have the potential to do good and bad. They can give out warmth, or they can be used to cook food. But, on the other hand, they can also cause great devastation. I'm sure many of you have seen this image at some point in your school career, and it's something that you in year one have learnt about very, very recently, and in fact you even managed to build and then demonstrate this particular event in history. This image is showing an artist's impression of the Great Fire of London in 1666. This is what potential a flame has to do harm. So what started out as a candle with a tiny little flame evolved into a massive, devastating fire that destroyed a large part of London in 1666. Similarly, this image shows the Australian bushfires that happened in early 2020. Unfortunately, that flame, the small flame that started, managed to destroy many homes, and people were evacuated and had to relocate and start their lives all over again because that flame's potential was exceeded. Now, I'd like you to have a think about yourselves. You too have great potential. Each and every one of you has amazing potential inside of you. In school, you are provided with the good conditions to grow and fulfill your true potential in life. However, it is up to you to take those opportunities to work hard, take hold of any new experience that you are offered, and to make sure that in the future, you are the people who are capable of being amazing and fantastic and developing that potential that you have inside of you. So let's remind ourselves as we end off our assembly what potential is all about. Potential is something that is not yet developed, but it is able to come into existence. For our reflection today, I'd like you to have a think about life in school. I'd like you to think about the following questions, and I'll give you a few moments to consider each one. Remember, this is not to share unless you really want to after the assembly. It's something for you to think about right now and reflect upon. So the first statement or question is, what things do you enjoy doing the most? I'm sure you've had lots of ideas. The next question is, what things do you find pretty easy? Now think about the things that you find challenging or difficult. What things do you find particularly hard? Don't only think about lesson time now, think about play times and lunch times too, because those could also be challenging for some people. Okay, what about the areas where you need to try a little bit harder? Have a think about any of those and try to identify one or two to focus on over the next few weeks and into the new academic year. And finally, what can you now decide to try and do a bit more enthusiastically or a bit better in over the next 2 weeks before we break up for the holidays and into the new academic year? I would have liked to hear some of those things. So maybe teachers, you can ask your children to share if they're feeling brave or if they want to. You don't have to, children. Just remember, sometimes it's good to share ideas because people can support you and help you along with those particular targets you're trying to achieve. Let's close our eyes now, or bow our heads, or look at the candle for our closing reflection. Thank you for every new day. Thank you for giving us so many gifts and abilities. Help us to try hard in everything that we do so that we can achieve our true potential. It's lovely being with you again this morning. It's always lovely being with you. I hope you have a really enjoyable week and you enjoy your transition day coming up soon. Just remember, you may be feeling really excited, you may be feeling a little bit nervous. If you are feeling nervous, that's quite normal and quite natural. It's normal to feel a bit nervous when change is coming along, but just remember there are lots of people you can talk to and ask to help or to give you some support, your friends and family and your adults at school too. I look forward to seeing you on Thursday. Have a great week. Bye-bye.